Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
Nia Jax has just proven that Samoans do not have the strongest skulls in the world. The boy Harm.
I can't with you. That was a bad gash.
That was. She took that chair shot straight to the face.
Yep.
Immediately
And we
busted her
and we
open.
used to say she didn't work safe. I think that
Well,
now
she
goes to
broke
Tiffany.
that Becky Lynch's
I
face
don't care.
with the punch.
Well, she just she just got that right back tenfold because that gash is crazy
Yeah.
and immediate.
That ending of that match, I don't agree with. I agree with keeping the belt on Tiffany, but the booking that final
We'll
the
get to it
final
because
2 minutes of that
I was pissed
match.
off a lot during
Yeah.
that match.
All right. So overall, what do you think of SmackDown?
Pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good show.
It was a solid enough show. They moved a lot of things forward. They finally started giving us our Money in the Bank matches. Um, it was a good enough show. There's a one match I really didn't like, but it is what it is.
Is it JC Mateo?
Yes, I could not stand how they booked that match. That match was slow, plotting, boring. Like it was just like, oh god. Well, I
And
felt like I was
I
gonna
was gonna
fall
say it had
asleep.
nothing to do with the name change.
No, I mean the name change is crap as well, but whatever. Like I understand, but
do
that's not
you?
how you.
Do you
That's not.
understand? Because I do not understand that call. This that sounds like such a Vince call. Like it does not seem like something we would be doing at this point. I don't understand it.
I don't know. They introduced him to the world on Saturday as Jeff Cobb, and on Friday we get JC Mateo.
JC Mateo. Let's go.
All right, you want to get into it?
Yeah.
All right, so the show starts and we immediately get a video package reviewing Backlash. We don't have to go into the review of Backlash. If you want to see our review of Backlash, it's on the last episode. All right, so we get Solo, JC Mateo, and Jacob Fatu entering the arena. I'm sorry, I wrote Jeff Cobb. I didn't realize he changed his name. But JC Mateo, Solo, and Jacob Fatu entering the arena. Um, they get into the ring. Solo welcomes JC Mateo to WWE, and immediately JC and Jacob exchange dirty looks at each other.
Yep.
Solo says he's going to take back everything that Roman lost at WrestleMania last year when he lost to Cody Rhodes. And it starts with him winning Money in the Bank. He says if anyone has a problem with it, they'll be dealt with by JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu. Solo immediately starts to try and use Jacob's catchphrases,
Mm-hmm.
and Jacob did not like this.
He did not.
Jacob snatched the microphone
He's
out of
like, I'm
Solo's
all
hands.
breaks. No, and he was
Yes.
just like, nope.
No, no, no. You're not doing this.
You
That's
don't get
my
to
thing.
say yeah.
So Jacob says that he told everybody he was going to win the United States Championship and defend it for his family with or without their help.
Mm-hmm.
He hits his catchphrases because I'm all gas, no brakes. And then Solo somehow got another microphone. I think somebody handed him one
Yeah.
and cut off Jacob Fatu with the Yaramin.
Yeah.
Jacob stares at Solo as he's doing this. And Solo looks at Jacob and he tells him that Jacob still having the US title is proof that Jacob still loves Solo. That Solo still loves Jacob. I'm sorry, I wrote that
Yeah.
backwards. That Solo still loves Jacob. He asked Jacob to say the one thing that he always used to say that he doesn't say to him anymore.
Yep.
He goes, "You used to tell me you love me.
Yep.
I want to hear it once." And nonchalantly, Jacob looks at him and goes, "I love you, Solo." And Solo's like, "No, no, no, it's not good enough. I want you to say it with the enthusiasm that you used to say it to me with." Before that can happen, LA Knight, who just can't seem to mind his own business, comes down to the ring, pulls out, I think he pulled Solo out of the ring, hit him with 2 punches, and then ran away
Mm-hmm.
as the three heels stared at him. going off to the next segment. This was an effective segment to show Jacob's and Solo's discourse for each other.
Mhm.
Solo wants Jacob to fall in line again behind him and put together his bloodline, but Jacob's having his own success.
Mhm.
And on top of the fact, since Solo had lost to Ulafala on the Netflix premiere in January, Jacob had never really respected him since that point.
Yep.
So we're getting that burn. We're getting that dissension between the entirety of the group. What do you think about this segment?
I thought it was good. I just again, I don't understand the JC
Mateo name?
name change. I don't get that. But I did. I thought it was very entertaining. I thought Solo hitting all of Jacob's lines was pretty good. Um, Even later on during the match, when he started doing the
Yeah.
I
We'll
thought
get
it
into
was
that.
hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. Like Solo's at his best when he's showing off his personality,
Yes.
and he did a lot of that tonight. So I think he got pretty. He was booked pretty strong tonight, and I like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
They
yeah, we'll
needed
get
they
into
needed
his
to.
match
They
further.
needed to.
Yeah, because we've been saying for over a year Solo is going to be a major player in this company for a long time, and his shine got taken away when Jacob Fatu got there a little bit because Jacob Fatu is just a superstar right away. You
Mm,
can see it from day one. He was going to come in and have this aura about him and have this thing about him that people you cannot deny Jacob Fatu.
yeah.
Um, we'll get into how they booked JC Mateo later, but that's another topic altogether. So we get backstage, and oh, before I even do that, I think the name change for JC Mateo, and I'm not sure. I didn't look into this. You can trademark somebody's name, like their legal given name. Like WWE owns the
Yeah.
trademark for John Cena.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's a legal thing that they had to change his name. Maybe New Japan owns the rights to Jeff Cobb or something like that. That's the only reason why I think they would change his name because they introduced him as Jeff Cobb on Saturday and then immediately changed his name today.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can come up with because Jeff Cobb has been on the Indies for a long time. People know who he is.
Yeah.
He's not a superstar.
They
He's
probably
never
didn't
been a
real. Yeah, they
superstar.
probably didn't realize that his name was trademarked or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never been a superstar anywhere he's been, but he's been a good part of New Japan and showed up on AEW and Lucha Underground and other things. So,
Hmm.
yeah. All right, so we get backstage and we get Mia Yim and B-Fab. B-Fab tells Mia Yim that Mia Yim winning the Money in the Bank briefcase would look good if also with tag team championships. They just threw that out there like Mia Yim and B-Fab are ever going to win the tag titles. That's never going to be a thing. Chelsea Green walks up, and Chelsea Green was great here. Chelsea Green walks up and starts talking about trickle down economics. She starts to winning Money in the Bank would be great for for the country. Um, she gets interrupted by Alexa Bliss, and when I say interrupted, Alexa Bliss just showed up and just started staring at her
Yeah.
until her music hit. Um, Mia Yim and B-Fab tell Chelsea that the Secret Hervis and everybody else is banned from ringside for
Hmm.
this match because it's a Money in the Bank qualifying match between Chelsea Green, Alexa Bliss, and Mia Yim coming up next. As they walk away, Chelsea Green yells she's going to start by putting tariffs on mediocrity, and the two of them are first. She is doing such great work.
I love
I
it.
love Chelsea Green. She's amazing. So
Female
we get that
Miss.
match next. Female Miz. So we get that match next. Chelsea Green, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim. I didn't take a lot of notes. Actually, I took some. Chelsea Green, this is towards the beginning of the match. Chelsea Green hits a plancha on the two women. We go to commercial break. Chelsea dominates the entire commercial break. She keeps asking the fans to pledge her allegiance to her, which is amazing because she's Canadian and they
Yep.
don't pledge allegiance in Canada. Uh, Mia Yim comes back in, hits a sit-out powerbomb on Chelsea, a couple of Pele kicks, a long back attack on both women to get the near fall. Near the end, Chelsea and Alexa go toe to toe. Alexa gets the advantage. Missile drop kick by Michim on Alexa. hits Eat the Feet on Chelsea. Alexa breaks it up. She hits a tornado DDT on Michim, sets up for a twisted bliss, hits it. Chelsea breaks it up. Chelsea gets an unpretty hurt on Michim. Alexa pulls out Michim, hits the Sister Abigail DDT on Chelsea for the win, and advances to the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Did you
Alexa
just give
Bliss
us the
moving on.
rundown of the entire match moveset wise? Because
Yes,
that's
I had that
literally
for a. I
yeah.
had that for a lot of the matches.
Oh my god! You don't have to go through a play-by-play of the entire match.
All right. Well, Alexa Bliss gets the win.
Okay.
On the money, she's moving on to Money in the Bank. Fine. I would have loved it if Chelsea was in this match, but I understand putting Alexa in this match.
I'm good with Alexa. It's cool. I mean, they were pushing Chelsea for a while.
Yeah. I just think Chelsea carrying that briefcase would be amazing.
I don't disagree. I think she could do great things with it, especially with this character this character run she's on. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness.
Her
I can't
walking
even.
around with a red,
That's what I'm
white, and blue
saying.
briefcase.
I can't even imagine.
It'd be like when Tiffany had it last year, and Tiffany had the one that looked like the Barbie doll thing. She was going on with the pink one.
Mm.
And she turned it into a handbag. It was amazing. All right, so then we get a video package of Fraxiom and Street Profits from last week, and then the DIY beatdown in the backstage of Fraxiom and Motor City Machine Guns, leading into a match of between Fraxiom and DIY. This was a fun enough match. The very beginning of it, there was a bunch of botches. It was a hilarious. Axiom goes for a moonsault, and Johnny Gargano, I don't think he was paying attention. Johnny Gargano tries to enter the ring from the outside, pulls himself up from the middle rope as Axiom is trying to hit a moonsault, and he just lands on his head. So I have the entire match breakdown of this. I'm not going to go through it. It's a lot. A lot of super kicks, a lot of enziguri's, a lot of tag team maneuvers between both. Really fun match. Every time I say this, Axiom is an incredible wrestler. Nathan Frazier is like a bat shot out of hell. This dude, it gets in the ring and he just moves and flies. Eventually, Fraxiom gets the win on a roll up on Johnny Gargano. I think Axiom hit Johnny Gargano, got him on a roll up, and then DIY attacked Fraxiom at the after the match.
Immediately.
And immediately, like Ciampa was there right after the 3 count. And Motor City Machine Guns comes out to attack DIY because of the beatdown from last week. So we're continuing this trio quartet of feuds for the tag team championships, which is fine because we find out later that we're going to get the tag title match next week because of Fraxiom's win over Street Profits last week. We're going to get Fraxiom versus Street Profits next week on Smackdown, which should be a great match for the tag team championships. All right, then we get backstage.
I love how they announced it too, because he was like, "This isn't going to be on the pay-per-view. You don't got to wait for Saturday night main event." He's like, "This is going to happen next week."
Yeah, I have that in my notes somewhere.
And then he said something along the lines, which I turned to you and I said, "That sounds like a threat," because he was like, "If you make it or whatever." Something along those lines.
He said, "We're gonna be 100% by next week, and you, hopefully, you are too, or something like that."
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it in my notes. It's later now. Backstage, Fenix and Andrade. And I have the word for word in the notes. Backstage, Fenix and Andrade celebrating their win from last week, saying that they're both gonna win their matches and be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. We find out later that did not happen. Fenix says his fire burns deeper than it ever has, and he wants the World Heavyweight Championship. And the easiest way to get that is to win Money in the Bank. Solo approaches them and asks them if he's seen LA Knight or where LA Knight is. The Mexicans say something to him in Spanish, and then Solo, that's right. Solo goes, "That's right, no Espanol, wasting my damn time," and walks away. So we get Nia Jax in the background getting ready for her title match. In the backstage, waiting for her title match, and just Naomi lurking in the background. Just lurking.
She was just lurking all night.
Yes. All right. This is when Fraxiom is backstage spoke to Street Profits. Street Profits had some really great blue suits on, looking like $1,000,000. Looking like they said the suits that
Only
what's
you
his
be
face?
so obsessed with the people's outfits.
The gear. I love it. They look like those blue smack. Hold on.
Oh, I thought he was using the cough button, but this is more of the I'm recording. I didn't tell anybody I was recording, and now I'm mad that they entered my room. So now I'm gonna mute
Yeah,
myself.
no, I didn't put the thing up because I
Yeah.
didn't think he was gonna walk in. Yeah, so no, it looked like Bobby Lashley still gave him these blue SmackDown suits from when they were in the Pride together. Anyways, um, where was I? Oh yeah, so the Street Profits stating that Nick Aldis has granted Fraxiom a tag team championship match next week on SmackDown,
Mm-hmm.
and Angelo Dawkins, because you don't want me to call him by what I wrote here. Angelo Dawkins says that the Street Profits will be 100% next week. Hopefully, Fraxiom will be as well. And then we get
Which again sounds like
Wade.
a threat to me.
Yeah, I mean, just saying, like we're gonna be 100%. You beat us when we weren't at our best last week. You guys make sure you're at 100% so we can figure out who the best team actually is.
Yeah,
That's what he was saying. So,
it ain't come
all right.
across that way.
All right, so then we get Wade Barrett and R-Truth in a sit down. Truth says life is tough, but regardless of what's going on, you can always depend on John Cena. Never give up. Your time is now. Hustle, loyalty, respect. They're
Yeah,
not just words. They're a beacon of light. If Cena can do it, so could you. Wade looks at him and says, "Truth, you sound delusional.
which he does.
You helped Cena win the no, he says, Truth, you won Cena the match at Backlash. Look how he repaid you by putting you through a table. Truth says the guy at the press conference isn't the Cena he knows. He doesn't want to fight Cena, but if he has to beat Cena back into his senses, he will. He announces they have a match at Saturday night's main event, and he will have his head held high because he lives by his favorite three words: hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Now go ahead and
If
say
this is
what. Yeah,
not
I was gonna say go ahead and
if
say
this
what
is
you're.
not Cena in a squash match,
Mm-hmm.
and one of two things needs to happen: bloodies our truth,
Mm-hmm.
or puts him in an STF and holds it for an uncomfortable amount of time
Mm-hmm.
to the point where everybody has to come out
And rip him
and
off.
help and rip him off and help our truth. This is a disaster. Sorry.
You're
Ooh,
dying. You're still sick.
it's been a week.
Mm.
All right, but yeah, no, this is we knew this was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and this could be amazing if done
This
properly.
this could be really amazing. This got me the most amped throughout the entire show. This moment right here, because we've been clamoring for them to have some sort of back and forth, some sort of something story wise between the two of them, because we kept saying how our truth is that loyal fan that never goes away, and John
Mhm.
Cena could do no wrong in his eyes. And the fact that he kept on for weeks still either ignoring him or straight up walking away from him, like no matter what he was doing, he was like still there, still there, still there. Puts him through a table. We were like,
Mhm.
how's he going to react to that? And he reacted precisely as we thought he would, which is completely delusional, thinking that, this is my hero, I idolize him, I can change him back type of deal.
He sounds like a kidnapped victim who has Stockholm syndrome.
I'll agree with that.
Like,
I need this, to your point, I need this to be a squash.
absolutely.
Um, but ultimately, I said from the beginning, I would love it for our truth to be the one that turns him back.
I think I think because the seeds have already been planted that Cena's already showing remorse on what he's been doing, I think having him destroy truth,
Yeah.
and then
The
maybe they
remorse.
take maybe they take truth out on a stretcher in the show. Maybe they do something. and then Cena from inside the ring is still staring at them wheeling Truth out,
Yeah.
and you can see it again, and it starts to hit him more.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck am I doing?
Yeah.
I think that's how Truth can get through to Cena, because him beating down Cena isn't going to do it.
No, 100%
Cena
not.
Cena needs to see what he's doing
Hmm.
and get there by himself.
Hmm. The crowd is gonna pop crazy during that
Oh,
match.
absolutely. Oh, I think at one point our Truth is going to try to hit the 5 moves of doom on Cena,
That's what I'm
and the
picturing in
crowd
my
is
mind
gonna
right now.
pop.
The crowd is gonna go
Uh
crazy for
huh.
that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So then we get out the Aliester Black Carmelo Hayes rematch, and it very good match. I mean,
I was
they
gonna
set up
say
a
that this was one of my favorite matches of the night.
yeah. I don't like the finish. Before the match starts, we did, and Diggy walked away from this. This is when they announced the cage match. We got a Damian Priest vignette about Drew McIntyre, and he was just saying that the two of them keep getting involved in each other's business. That he's pissed at himself for being stuck in the Drew McIntyre vortex. He says he's going to hurt him so bad that they need to check Drew's dental records to identify his body, and that they need a conclusion. And at Saturday Night Main Event, they're going to have a steel cage match.
Hmm.
So, to your point, in our last couple episodes, they finally seem that to be setting up a blow off for this feud.
Hopefully, maybe they heard me. They had to have heard all my complaints about this thing not going away, and they were like, you know what? Let's give them this one because I'm tired.
All right, so we get Carmelo backstage. Alice is already in the ring.
I'm
Carmelo
stuck
backstage.
in a vortex, Derek.
I know you are. Carmelo cuts a little promo saying that Alistair Black's grand opening was a month ago, and tonight's going to be his grand closing, and that he is him, and blah 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 blah. Carmelo talk. So he gets out to the ring. Really good match. These two guys, for two guys who have never wrestled before last week, they have really good chemistry.
Yep,
They're
agreed. Their timing is on. Everything was really good.
they're they wrestle the exact opposite of another match that's later in the card. This was really fast paced, really fun. Again, Aleister Black's striking looks legit, even
Hmm.
though I know he's not hurting Carmelo.
Yeah.
Um, Carmelo's athleticism works well because he's so small and so athletic, but Alistair's not a huge dude, so he can keep up with him, and they just work so well together. Um, Essentially, this match ended in a disqualification
Hmm.
because towards the end, and I'll just give you the end. Uh, Miz inter Miz interrupts, gets on the ring apron. Melo hits a DDT. Alistair kicks out. Miz gets back on the apron. Melo and Miz argue for a bit. Alistair pushes Melo into Miz. Um, he hits Melo with a knee, starts setting him up for the Black Mass. Miz hits Alistair from behind for the disqualification, and
Immediately.
Alistair pushes Miz and hits him with another Black Mass. Miz is just going to keep eating Black Masses because Carmelo hasn't taken one yet.
Yep.
Miz has taken 4, I think, or whatever it's been. It's 3 or
No,
4.
I think
No,
it's
it's 4.
is it?
It's 4 because the debut when
Yeah.
Miz was in the ring,
Yeah.
their match
Yeah.
last week,
Carmelo, yeah, and then this one.
and then this week he's taken 4 Black Masses every week. Alistair's hit him with one.
Poor guy.
Yeah, so yeah, he's got Maurice, and he's going to be the host of American Gladiators moving forward at millions of dollars. I'm not talking about poor Miz
I can't with you.
like, that man is on the Real World and now making all this money,
You're not wrong.
beautiful French Canadian wife, and hosting TV shows. And he's a 2-time WWE champion and a 2-time Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Like, I'm sorry, no. Mello eventually hits a chop block from behind and hits a nothing but net on Alistair and stands tall over Alistair. Great match, terrible finish.
Yeah, I agree. I was over it. I thought the match was really good. I hated. I understand it. like Miz didn't want him to get hit with the black mass, but
Mm-hmm.
it was just stupid in turn. Like I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see a clear finish, and
A finish.
I was hoping that Carmelo was gonna get the one up, and then they have a third, you
A
know,
third.
a third to blow it off. But apparently
I
that's not
agree.
in the cards.
I agree. I mean, just think about the guys who they've brought back. And I know Phoenix's loss at Mania, I don't even really count that because
I don't.
he was covering for Ray
Yeah,
and they were just giving him the spot.
yeah,
But think about Penta and then Phoenix and now Aliester. They're people who they're bringing in. They're not going to have them taking losses early.
yeah,
Like so I think it's gonna be a little while before we see Alister get hit. And it's gonna suck for guys like Melo and Andrade and Santos who have been there for a while, who we like,
hmm
but they don't have a spot. They're not gonna get wins over these guys. Like even I love Chad Gable and I love Grande Americano gimmick. I think the ceiling for that is just what he's doing now. You can't take what they're doing and move him up into the card.
yeah,
Like it's just they're hey they have too much talent and they're starting to book themselves into problems.
yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes a perfect sense.
All right. So we get a backstage. Alexa Bliss. She says she's being interviewed by Byron Saxton. She says she wants to be the first woman to win the Money in the Bank briefcase twice. Side note: she's not because it was Carmella. Carmelo won it with the help of James Ellsworth. That's when he actually had the briefcase, and they had to redo the match because the internet hated that a man won a woman's Money in the Briefcase match. So Carmella actually was the first one to win two Money in the Briefcase ladder matches, even though they're a week apart. But she walks up to Charlotte Flair, who's standing outside Nick Aldis's office, and she says she wants to be Charlotte's friend.
Hmm
Charlotte helped her when she was in NXT, and she never forgot how much she helped her. Charlotte looks at her and she goes, "I don't remember this."
Yeah, facts. I was like, for someone who wants to be liked, you sure keep
Yeah,
saying
for her.
stupid things. Yeah,
Julia walks out of Nick Aldis's office, and Nick walks out and tells Alexa and Charlotte that Julia is now officially on the SmackDown roster.
which I'm
So
good with.
the breakup of her and Roxanne
Is official,
is
official.
official. So after Nick Aldis and Charlotte walk away, Charlotte looks at her and she goes, "Lexi, I don't I don't need any friends, or I don't need you." She goes, "I don't need you." And Alexa says, "Keep telling yourself that."
Mm.
So looks like we're going to be getting an Alexa Bliss Charlotte program moving forward, which I'm okay with. It's fine. Keep Charlotte away from the championship for a little while.
hmm
All right. So then we get a recap of the Tiffany Nia rivalry video package, hyping up our main event match. Before Drew McIntyre enters the arena and cuts a promo. He responds to Damian Priest's video package, saying that Damian's was inaccurate and that he's stuck in the Damian Priest vortex. Hold on. I keep hitting the button
I know.
and it keeps moving up. Hold on. It keeps there's and that the only reason Damian Priest is relevant is because of Drew. He says that Damian is obsessed with him and wants to wear Drew's skin to a birthday party. Don't know why he said that. Says that Damian is jealous of Drew and he would like, and Drew would be a Grand Slam champion if not for Damian Priest on that at Backlash, choke slamming him through the tables and slamming his head into the concrete floor.
hmm
Uh, so,
Trying to
and he
take
said,
him out,
coming,
smashing his
yeah,
head on the
yeah.
ground.
He said, coming out of Saturday Night Main Event and coming out of the cage, only one of them is walking out and the other one is leaving on a stretcher. I literally wrote, "This may finally be the end of this feud."
Good luck.
All
Good
right,
luck.
So Drew leaves.
Because
starts
after
making his way-
Cage, you know what comes after Cage? Hell in a Cell.
I hope they start doing Hell in a Cells. Like, I know it's no longer a PLE, thank God. So we're not forcing any Hell in a Cell every year.
Yeah.
I hope they start doing it more randomly and more rarely because we got one last year, which I'm cool with, and that was Drew and CM Punk.
Hmm.
Let's only use Hell in a Cell for true blood feuds. This is not to me antiquated true blood feud. Drew and Punk did last year because you had the bracelet. They take an entire storyline and made it out of a bracelet, and it was crazy. Um, so Drew leaves, and as he's making his way up the entranceway, he's stopped by Solo, Jacob, and JC Mateo, and confronted at the end of because I wrote Jeff Cobb,
I know.
and uh, because we're getting Solo, Jimmy Uso, and Ray Phoenix in a Money in the Bank qualifying match next. Really fun match. I thought Ray Phoenix was going to win this match.
I said it in the very beginning. I said, I know it's not gonna happen, but I hope the Solo wins. And look at how that
and
turned out.
Yep, and Solo gets the win with through a lot of shenanigans
Yeah, yeah,
from.
yeah. He won that clean.
I mean, it's a triple threat match, so there's no disqualification. So technically, he did win it clean. So JC Mateo gets on the apron. He distracts Jimmy Uso. Solo hits a spike on Jimmy Uso, taking him out of the match. Jacob Fatu gets on the other apron as Phoenix is setting up for one of his Phoenix moves. I think it was the Adios Amigos kick. Um, distracts Phoenix. Solo Sikoa grabs Ray Phoenix, hits him with the Samoan spike, gets the 3 count for the win, and Solo moves on to the Money in the Bank ladder match, um, coming up in a couple weeks.
And I said
Um,
I need to see who else is in it before I call it, but it could be very intriguing having Solo hold on to that Money in the Bank briefcase.
to me, like I said it earlier, there should have been 3 guys who can carry it: Braun, Logan Paul, Carmelo Hayes. Those are the 3 guys I want to see have that briefcase this year. I don't think we'll get Carmelo Hayes because he's wrapped up in this Aliester Black thing, and I don't think he's going to get in that match. But I can see Braun winning that and having it this year.
I said what I
Um,
said.
so after the match, LA Knight, because again he can't keep his nose out of anybody else's business. I understand it cost you your championship, whatever. So he comes running out with a chair.
I love
He
how you
doesn't
say
hit
what.
anybody.
I love how you say whatever as though you'd be cool with losing your belt to somebody because they
I
cheated.
understand.
Like
I
you'd be
understand.
all up in there, going crazy.
I understand.
I just thought he looked stupid with the chair. He
Yeah.
was just like,
No, because he
and then
came
he
out with
almost
the
fell.
chair.
And then he almost
He
fell.
didn't really he didn't really attack anybody with the chair.
He
He
didn't.
got up on the announce desk holding the chair while two Samoans and JC Mateo are about to go attack him, and he's holding them off with the chair instead of just attacking them. If you got the chair in your hand, it's supposed to be the equalizer. You
Yeah.
come out and you hit them with it.
Yeah.
All right, so then Nick Aldis comes out and he makes an impromptu match. He goes, LA Knight, I'm tired of this. JC Mateo, since you want to be open to all everybody's business because he attacked LA Knight on Saturday, we're going to get an LA Knight versus JC Mateo match right now. I understand what you're saying by JC Mateo dominated the portions of this match because this match was so slow paced.
Hmm.
All especially from commercial break on. But all his offense was shoulder to the back, elbow to the back, knee to the back, put you in a head. The very beginning of this match, it felt like there was a 5 minute span where he got zero offense in.
Hmm.
And then they transitioned to the heel going into the commercial break, getting the offense, and then as soon as the commercial break was over, it's like, all right, LA Knight just took over again up until the very end. So I don't think this match did much for Jeff Cobb.
JC
I don't think
Mateo.
it. Yes, Jeff Cobb Mateo. I don't think this did much for him as far as highlighting the athlete he is.
Hmm.
He had a couple good spots at the end, but he does get the win after Solo and Jacob get involved.
I just didn't like the
Uh,
match for different reasons. I told you a couple of times. It was just hearing LA Knight on the mic telling JC what spot they were gonna hit next.
yeah,
Telling him, "Oh, throw me against the table." Like you could hear it, and
yeah.
it just took me. It took me out the match completely. Like he did a
The, Mac,
terrible job.
the mics were a little loud tonight. I
Yeah.
could you could hear them later in the show during the Nia match too. But yeah, towards the end,
But at
LA
least
Knight
Nia
reversed.
wasn't talking about the moves that they were gonna do. Nia was talking. She was like, Nia Jax is gonna win this." Like she was in character, just talking smack, and you can hear that. But he was legit telling me what's coming up next.
He's calling it in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, and that just took me out of the match, and that's why I just did not. It was my least favorite match of the night.
Yeah. So on times like that, wrestlers will say they'll call it in the ring when they're laying on the ground and you can see them talking to each other, or they'll tell the referee to go tell their opponent
Yep.
what's coming up next. So that way you don't have that happen.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So towards the end, the Samoans try to get involved. LA Knight hit a springboard crossbody. Solo and Jacob were on the outside. When he tried to get back into the ring, JC Mateo hit Tour of the Islands, which is a spinning power slam that he's always used for the win. All right. Then we get a backstage between Angel, Garza, and Santos
Hmm.
Escobar. And Angel walks up to him with his phone in his hand. Here's a little wrestling thing. Again, I hate the fact that nothing that happens between Friday and Thursday matters in professional wrestling.
Hmm.
So, and the fact that Angel comes up to him and goes, "I can't get Berto. I can't get Berto." He has his phone in his hand. You didn't need the phone in your hand. Just tell Santos I can't find Berto. You don't need to be like, "I can't find them." just I'm just
You
saying.
just find the craziest things to nitpick, and it irks my soul.
I'm just saying
It
because
bothers you that he had a prop. Like,
yes,
why?
I don't know. I saw Garza and I saw his phone, and I'm just like, what is he doing? All right, so Garza says to Angel he hasn't spoken to Berto all week. He won't answer his calls, and Santos said he's willing to forgive Berto for what happened last week,
Mm.
but because he has something planned that's going to take Legado del Fantasma to the top. But he needs Angel to find Berto first because he wants to have a family sit down dinner to discuss it all. Um, he tries to walk away. Angel says something, and Santos looks at him. He goes, "I like you because you've always been loyal to me. It would suck if all the loyalty goes away because of the actions of one selfish person."
Hmm.
So we're continuing to get this breakup of Legado del Fantasma.
And I love it.
All right. Then we get Shinsuke Nakamura promo. Again, forgot he was employed. Um, Shinsuke Nakamura promo talking about LA Knight and Aliester Black. Um, because next week we're going to get the triple threat match, Money in the Bank qualifying match between Aliester Black, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura. I think LA Knight will probably win that match because Carmelo will probably do something to cost Alistair Black that match. I don't see Shinsuke winning anything. I think LA Knight will probably win that match and get into the thing. He talks about sharpening his katana and his skills and how he's going to beat both of them to get into the match next week.
Hmm. I think it
And then
would
we
be.
get
I think it would be good to have him win.
Shinsuke.
Yeah, have him win the qualifying. I'm not saying to win Money in the Bank, but to qualify
He,
because you're technically doing stuff with LA Knight, and you're doing
yeah,
stuff with Alice. Is it Alistair?
Alistair.
Okay,
Yes,
making sure. I
Alistair.
I always get confused. Just like with Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryanson, whatever the hell he goes by.
Daniel Bryan in WWE. Brian Danielson is his real name.
Sure.
That's his.
Who knows?
Alistair
Who
Black
knows?
is his WWE name.
That guy.
Malachi Black is his AEW name, and neither one of those are his real name.
Alistair Black.
Yes.
Got it. Um, I lost my train of thought because you decided to go in.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura isn't doing anything. So if you put him to win the qualifier, at least he's doing something for a little bit of time.
Yeah, he's not gonna win the match, the briefcase, but he's not gonna win the
Yeah,
briefcase. But
that's what
putting
I'll
him in
say.
that match could be fun. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So then we get a backstage between Tiffany and Jade. She's getting ready for her match, her main event match. Jade confronts her in the back, says, "Good luck. I'm next. I'm your number. I'm gonna take that title off you or Nia, whoever the champion is." Tiffany basically says, "You're great. But as long as she goes, you can go for the money in the bank if you want. You can do something else. But as long as I'm champion, you're never going to beat me. Or you're never going to be champion, basically, is what she said. Mm-hmm. Again, as this is happening, Naomi is just lurking in the background.
Looking like a
giant highlighter just in the background.
I can't with you. You're not wrong.
Super bright green.
You're not wrong, but damn. Leave her alone.
All right, so then we get our main event: Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for the championship. It also was a fun match. It was really fun.
Cough, cough. Coffee.
Phlegm. This is a fun match. Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax for the championship. They're really playing up Nia's strengths in this match. Tiffany didn't really get a lot of offense. Every time she tried to get some offense, Nia would utilize her strength advantage. She tries to go for like that cartwheel Alabama slam. Nia reverses that into a double power bomb. She tries to go for something else, and she stopped her. But towards the end of the match, Naomi comes out with a chair in her hand, tries to enter the ring. The referee stops her. As she's standing on the apron, Jade Cargill comes out to chase off Naomi. So they start brawling through the crowd. Nia charges at Tiffany. Tiffany moves. She hits her shoulder on the ring post. Tiffany hits the PME, the prettiest moonsault ever. Nia kicks out, which is crazy because no one's ever kicked out after that.
Yep. They lost their minds on commentary.
They lost their minds. Joe Tessitore sold the crap out of that.
It's like,
what? Sound like he was calling a college football game and Ohio State lost. Tiffany pulls Nia to the other corner, and she gets on the top rope, setting up for something because she wasn't set up for a moonsault because she was facing her, setting up for something, probably a swanton bomb. Nia pushes her out the ring. Nia picks Tiffany up, hits a Samoan drop, and this is where my issue with the rest of the match comes. Nia hits a Samoan drop
on the table,
Tiffany on the announce table.
Yep, that reinforced announce table.
They keep making the point. Reinforced announce table, which should be enough to take Tiffany into the ring and at least have her set up for the Annihilator to get the win. She puts Tiffany in the ring, sets her up for the Annihilator. Tiffany no-sells the Samoan drop, gets up, tries to hit a power bomb, and she's from the corner. Nia jumps and hits an Annihilator while Tiffany's still standing, so she completely uses her body weight to push her down to the thing and squash her.
That should have been the end.
This is not the finish. That should have been the end. We should have a new women's champion.
Yep.
We got a 2 count, and Tiffany grabs the bottom rope. You should have been dead.
Yep.
You should have been knocked out.
Yep.
Like something.
Yep.
But no. So, Jesus. So Nia is upset. She goes outside. She grabs the championship.
She walking away with it.
I was
like, oh, this is what we doing it? Yeah, thanks.
She thinks better about it. The referee grabs the championship, goes to put it away. She grabs the steel chair that Naomi had run out to the ring with outside. As she's entering the ring, Tiffany hits she looked like she was shot out of a cannon because she hits a missile drop kick and hit her really hard. That chair blasted Nia in the face. And immediately we called it blood gushing out of Nia's forehead. I don't think they realized how hard Tiffany was going to hit that drop kick. So immediately blood gushing out of Nia's forehead. Tiffany hits a second prettiest moonsault ever for the 3 count and to retain the championship as the show goes off the air.
Yep.
Great match. I didn't like the ending. I agree with keeping the title on Tiffany. I don't agree with the way you booked that match, the ending of that match, because those two moves
She should have
should
lost.
have
Yeah.
been done.
Yep. They were
But
just.
that was
It was just a major no sell. I didn't like it.
Absolutely. All right, so that was SmackDown. Overall, it was a solid show. Set up a couple matches for next week. Again, I don't like the fact that the tag team championships are not being defended at Saturday Night Main Event. That they're going to be the main event next week on SmackDown.
Because you need something. I get it. You need something for the actual weekly show to get excited about. You need to have some titles on the line for us, but it's like the tag seems to be the answer every time, and that's what's kind of. But again, can we say that when we just literally had a women's women's world title match tonight? So I get it. I don't like it, but I understand it.
Yeah, but the SmackDown tag titles also were not on Mania. They were also not on Backlash.
That's why I said I get it. I understand that. I don't like it, but they keep using them week in and week out on SmackDown.
Yeah, on the television show.
Yeah.
All right, but overall, SmackDown was fun. It was a good show. We're moving forward to Money in the Bank, which is June 7, which is only like 3 weeks away. So we got to really ramp up moving forward. Solid show.
What are we doing with Michim?
She's the Blasian Natalia. What do you mean?
I'm just saying. Another night, she put on a good show, and we did nothing.
She put on a good match,
and we did nothing with her. Nothing.
Blasian Natalia. What do you mean? She's there. She's Dolph Ziggler. She's there to put people over.
Ain't that the truth?
She's B-Fab's friend.
You stupid.
I got nothing. You wanted to save some money, you could have cut B-Fab and kept Cora Jade. I'm just saying, like, I'm not about people losing their jobs, but that's one that she brings absolutely no value to the show whatsoever. Argue with me. Tell me
I can't. We both know that I can't give you statistics or be like, oh, well, she's really great at this. I can't do that. We both know that. But I'm just saying that it sounded so harsh coming out of your mouth. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying it's the delivery.
I'm just tight.
Oh, man. Hilarious.
She's D Squad Bianca Belair.
Wow. On that note, SmackDown was a really good show. It did not drag. I did not feel like I was doing homework. And just like...
I did. I got 4 pages of notes.
I hate you. Yeah, but most of your notes were literally writing down word by word what's happening in the match. That was so unnecessary.
And I only did it in one match. I got a whole paragraph of the Solo Sikoa Jacob.
I bet you do. I bet you do. You did not need all that. We just need a summary so we can remember what we're talking about. That's it. A quick little, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. And then if you need to, you hit us with what was the final moves of the match to end the match. That's it. We don't need you going through play by play. It's basically why watch the show when you could just hear you say it.
See, but maybe we'll get some fans who don't watch the shows who just want to listen to us.
Yeah. I doubt that. I doubt that very much. Yo, I can't.
Maybe they want our play by play.
Yeah, if they want our play by play, put it in the comments below. Put it in the comments below. Let me get your thoughts on what you want Harm to give you every week. Do you want a play by play or do you want a quick summary? Yeah, they'll let me know real quick. And we'll also know who watched to the end of the video.
Pretty much. They'd be like, what are we, 47 minutes in at this point? They're
Probably.
gonna they're gonna be like, yeah, I want to listen to him talk about every match. Like, see, I got this. I'll have to do a separate video just breaking down matches.
Yeah. Tired of you. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for us on this lovely SmackDown. Next week is gonna be kind of special. Harm is coming down from Florida. He's gonna be in the
It's
city.
up. It's up. I'm down
Coming
up.
up, yeah, I forgot. Coming up from Florida.
I live in America's penis.
Here we go. He's coming up from Florida. And so at some point, we're hoping that we can record the podcast and actually be in the same location. So that'll be weird and fun.
Yeah. So our Raw review Tuesday will
It should
be
be.
a little
Yeah, I
bit
was gonna say
different.
it should be. It should be for Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then
that'll
our
be
Saturday,
different.
I fly back Saturday, so actually we could probably record Saturday before I leave. I don't leave until like 4:30 Saturday.
Okay. Oh, in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, we can figure that out.
Yeah. Because then we have Saturday night main event that night, and I'll have to watch it when I get home.
Copy. All right, but that'll do it for us. We appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for commenting, liking, following, and all that cool, nifty stuff that gets us views and things, so we could keep growing the channel. And we'll catch you on the next one.
And remember, don't headbutt any Samoans unless it's Nia Jax. Peace.
Stop it.